Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, we finally have a preview for Scream 5. Now, I love that mask because it's one of the original masks. It's not a recreated one. I got it from a $2 shop back around 1997 because the masks they used in the film were store-bought. They weren't made for the movie, so I'm so glad it survived a couple of decades and looks like it's brand new. Thank God, my Michael Myers mask, one of the original Don Post ones, didn't survive that long. I bought it around the same time. So the fifth film is being done. It's actually a direct sequel to the fourth film. People are acting like it's a reboot, but it's actually not a reboot. And I was a little bit confused by that, but that's okay. Because frankly, I don't remember the fourth film. I saw the first three films, as everyone else did, and then the fourth film came around in 2011, and I don't know, it was okay. It was like, I didn't mind going back. I kind of felt like the original trilogy sort of ended, but I did enjoy it, but it wasn't really memorable. It didn't make me sort of crave a new film. So when I heard they were doing a fifth one, I thought, money. And of course, Wes Craven's gone, so he's not directing it, so money. But yeah, Kevin Williamson is producing it, but he's not writing it. So I'm not sure if it's going to be any good. The preview itself was fairly good. It gives, like most previews, it gives away too much. I usually never watch previews for horror movies because they give away the kills sometimes. And then when I'm watching the film, I'm like, oh, that's that shot before this happens, and then I know, it ruins it. So I try not to watch them, and I forgot all that when I watched this. I'm watching it like, oh no, now I know what happens in this scene, in this scene, in this scene. I'm not going to forget it by the time I see the film. It opens in January, so January 14. I think that's the date it opens here in Australia, but it's definitely opening January 14 in the US. It starts off with a girl, what was her name? Tara. And she thinks she's texting a friend called Amber, but it's not Amber. And she's answering the phone, and then the doors are unlocking because, of course, everything's controlled by, your phone and everything. So we are more vulnerable in some ways now by someone from the outside trying to get to us. And it's a fairly good scene. And then basically there's another girl, the main girl I think is Samantha, and she's being hunted by a copycat of the Ghostface killer, basically. But there does seem to be some link back to the original case. So the copycat killer is probably doing that themselves, that they're pursuing people who are related to or have some relationship to the original victims. So we see David Arquette's back, Courtney Cox is back, Neve Campbell's back, and David's the one who informs, what was her name? Preston? Prescott. What was it? Oh God, I can't remember her name. Oh well, he contacts Neve Campbell and tells her that three people have already been killed, it's happening again, and he's like, do you have a gun? She's like, I'm Sydney Prescott. So yeah. So she comes back, and there's a scene with Courtney Cox, and she asks, are you ready for this? She's like, for this? Never. But they basically have to go and show these little young things how to basically stay alive when being, chased by a serial killing copycat of the original Ghostface killer. So it looks good. They eventually end up back at the same house and everything. And at the end of the preview is the new Ghostface, who pretty much sounds like Wes Craven, who did the original voice, basically saying, hello Sydney, it's an honour basically to kill you. And it eventually ends up with her against him, I think, is how the movie probably ends. It looks good, it looks promising. I'm kind of happy for it to continue. It was a good series, it was a great film, it was epic at the time, just, like $100 million back in the day was a big deal for a horror movie. It changed how horror movies were. It wasn't the first meta horror movie like that. Wes Craven's New Nightmare was more like, was that like that first? God, even Friday the 13th Part 6 sort of did the same thing, where it made a conscious commentary on itself and horror movies that the audience were aware of. It was aware that we were aware of the audience, but it was all part of the joke, so it all worked. Scream did it commercially, though, and was more successful. None of those films made $100 million. Drew Barrymore being killed in the first 5 minutes kind of helped. But I don't know, I loved them. I love my mask. I'm glad I still got it. I've got all the masks. I've got all the sort of main horror movie things. I've got, you know, the Hellraiser, you know, puzzle box. I've got a Freddy mask and the Freddy glove, like a proper metal one. I've got, you know, I collect stuff. But I'm looking forward to it. I kind of forgot about it. I think it might have been delayed. It was filmed in 2000. It's being released in 2022. So I'm guessing it was supposed to be released in the last year, but got delayed. I don't know. I'm going to go. I'm just glad the preview looked good. I think the film's going to be good, and it can't hurt. You can never have too many horror sequels, really, can you? I'm going to go. Bye.